opting out of the scarcity mindset. I'm excited to be here, everyone. My name is Jonathan David Mosenter, and I'm here to talk to you about big dreams and big energy. I've been dreaming big. I've been studying human flourishing my entire life. Studied psychology as a kid, then organizational development, and then really got into higher consciousness, like meditation and different energy masters. And I've come to talk to you about my sole purpose, because it's here to resolve conflict. I want to merge with the conversations we just had about nonviolent communication and agreements, and how when we mix them with energy, like really powerful energy, we up level the conversations. We can get people into a different intelligence trance. So when they're with the best energies, with the best energy, with the best, we help them get into their best highest state while they're doing conflict resolutions. And we make it a thing. Like, this is a big idea. It's a big idea. But when we get people talking, if we're going to get out of war, we're going to talk real peace, we need to have people modeling it. We need to have leaders modeling it. And we have to work on ourselves and be mirrors for each other, but also do it peacefully. Peaceful mirrors play well together. Peaceful mirrors play well together. And I'm going to talk about mirrors a little bit, because I'm going to talk about Tibetan meditation and how we mix it with energy to resolve conflict resolution on every level of our reality and increase creativity by playing with our energy and getting to know ourselves better. It's all about intimacy of life, intimacy of character. And I really think a peaceful world wants to be born. And I feel like I'm playing with people who have that exact same intention. I want to roll up their sleeves and get realistic about what it's going to take. What it's going to take. It's a lot of mirror dancing, guys. It's a lot of mirror dancing. We got to look at ourselves and say, hey, it's time for an upgrade. Not just a whole country, every individual. That's got to be a thing. If we can make it a cultural thing where people wants to have peaceful resolution and have techniques like that, and it starts, let's get real, marriages, starts in the bedroom, guys. If couples are having happy marriages where they're creating together, a lot of couples today, they're not creating after they have kids, and it separates them. What if we can have a spurge of creativity on the planet where we have couples who really love each other, then start creating projects like this, get them involved in the movement. We got to get the women involved. It's got to be heart-centered and male and masculine totally fused together. So I'm talking here about big ideas, we're all from Anarchapulco, and we have this passion of volunteerism, and to me, it's all about resolving conflict. If there was one magic skill, is that people understood what life was at a deeper level. We had a new story about life. Narratives are everything. Narratives about ourselves, about what our life is. What if we had a new dance of life, new rainbows? Hey, each culture adds something different. You guys are in Europe. I'm jelly. You got all these different kind of flavors all around you. I wish I had that. There's a certain kind of creativity flair by having all those cultural layers, and each one of those countries have epic things to share on multiple dimensions of reality. And what if we, instead of fought, if we're going to stop fighting with each other, what if we had creative exchange wars, that were fun? And I want to invent games that teach conflict resolution to every dimension of reality. So I think the new abundance industry, and if those who remember me, I was on a new abundance that was just transmitting. That's the energy. I play with Ganesha. Ganesha is about removing obstacles, and my spirit is here to remove obstacles. And it's particularly good at group conflict resolution. And it involves mind and energy, because when we can go deep into our mind and resolve our deepest conflicts within ourselves, then we're going to be we're going to be happy. You know, at the back of the day, we all just want to be liked and in love with our life. We have cool things to do, cool things to do it with people with, and how we can unleash our creativity and ingenuity. You know, I feel like infinity is here when we make this kind of switch. You know, I'm really into Ken Wilber, and I love first tier to second tier. It's like we stop fighting each other and we realize that every level of development has something to show. Every person on the planet has value, and we can now mathematically prove it with the human design and gene keys. It's God's shown us the creative energies and the codes, and when we mash them together, we can produce human flourishing. That's the name of the game. So today I want to love this quote. CཾLIUM <silence> MERGENՑＩ. If we really understand the problem, the answer will come out of it, because the answer is not separate from the problem. Great. What if we just all thought about that? So for me, I think it's conflict resolution, both in the physical and the mental at the same time, and seeing how they're non-dual. You know, I think if we hit that, we're going to hit a home run. But what if I evoke that energy and we play with energy today? We get in a really cool state just by smacking our hands together and saying some cool chants. It's like super fun. That's what I love about this energy stuff, is it's fun to temporarily elevate. You know, you throw a little improv on, a little McGillicuddy silliness, you know, and we can get into different states quickly. Just somebody brings the energy in the room and it changes the dynamics. And I could see hilarious facilitators, you know, really being at the heart of this political solution. What if we had hilarious, highly skilled facilitators who could resolve the real conflict amongst the different issues all over the world, just as a capacity? Do you understand me? As a capacity, if the world got epic at that, I think a lot of problems would go away. You know, somebody who's combining lineage knowledge and deep psychology, process work, flow states, and have a variety of way to get people in these states. You know, psychedelics, a lot of people talk about them. They're helpful, but you can get these energy states in a lot of different ways. I've experimented with a lot of them, and I know which ones work and which combinations and what you really want to. I know how to ask the right questions and give people the right energy states to help them answer that question for themselves. So that's what I want to do today, is evoke those very powerful energies and get you to think. So we're going to do some breakout work today. So I'm only going to be talking at you like this for a little bit. I got to really transmit these energies in a powerful way so you can start to play with them. That's the idea, is to teach you to really feel the energies of the universe. You know, if you can feel them, then you can evoke them quickly. You know, you don't have to be stuck in this deep kind of dark discovery. You can feel it right away at a deeper and deeper levels and come up to presence. You know, presence is just connecting with the room. So with that, I'm feeling an energy exercise so we can all get here on the same state. I'm bringing a lot of big ideas and a lot of energy, and I want you guys right here with me, right here with me. And seeing part of what I do is I express an energy and bring it into the room and then let you play with it. And just as an experience, I want to give you an experience so you can really feel what I mean. Okay, so everyone in the room, put your hand up and your left hand really high and feel a super energy rich state by thinking whatever that means to you. What do you need right now? Do you need to super relax? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to smile and breathe? You know, and which of these do you need? What is energy rich for you right now? And feel it. And bring that energy to yourself and for the rest of the talk. It's the one that you feel when we blend the room. We're doing a blend the room super exercise, and everyone's energy is syncing up right now. And all our ideas are coming together. And we're going to bring our upper mental energy. Bring your super intelligence here. Because I want to talk about systems of systems and how things work together. Because that's really my specialty. And I want to slow down. I've been talking fast because I want to get a lot of ideas out there at once to paint a bigger picture of where I'm going with this. But now I'm going to totally slow down, and we're going to focus on one energy at a time so you can really feel what I'm talking about. So feel upper mental as really focused right here, and bring energy and upper mental, and start to bring those two energies back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and start to bring your hands together. When I count to 0, clap your hands. 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew. Now we got energy rich, upper mental. We're all in alignment. And we're going to do one more thing to get us all on the same page now. We got energy rich, upper mental, and tenacious fascination. We're going to be really, really focused with what's going on right now. So energy rich and upper mental with tenacious fascination. Back and forth, really feel the fascination with right now. Something spectacular is going to be birthed today. And I'm excited to be a part of it. Feel like the beauty and intention of all of our energies is very heart-centered. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling the warmth in the room and how everyone wants to use intelligence and systems, negotiation, calm talking, nonviolent talking. And what does that even mean sometimes? And what are the actual peace agreements we need to make in order to do the work that I think really needs to get done? And I want to go there with you guys today. It's a big idea, but let's bring our hands together, back and forth. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Yeah, feel that energy rich, upper mental, tenacious fascination within out. Okay, so intentions for today. I kind of already did this one. Let's talk about a big dream. Let's talk about mixing ideas and peace and super creativity right now. So let's go to the experiential part. I promise to talk to you about why people have scarcity mindset. I am going to blow it up for you so you can understand what's really going on in people's minds. And I believe if we solve this problem, humanity will flourish. It's about right and wrong. It's about good and bad. It's about having a better idea of what judgment is. In order to really convey this, I'm going to slow down and talk about these energies a little bit differently because they actually have a different feel to them. Okay. And so I'm going to give myself permission now to, and I want you to actually feel me deeply so you can get a feel. I'm going to give an intellectual description of each of these intelligence. Then I'm going to feel it deeply. And then we're all just going to stay in that state for like 30 seconds so we can just get a feel of it. You learn it faster when you do the upper mental and the reactor all at once. And with intention for CཾLIUM, for world peace. You know, we're all here for world peace and to be part of a beautiful transformational process that gives us multidimensional abundance, you know, where we can measure it, not just people talking about it at a festival, like cities, like numbers, like crimes going down, like we measure it, we talk about it on the news, we have fun with it, we bring the comedians involved. Like, this is what I'm talking about, is like when we get systems to systems as an intelligence, as a species. I think we're the decentralized world we all think Bitcoin's going to bring is actually going to come from a partnership between Bitcoin and this, because we really need multi-dimensional systems to come together in the physical and the psycho-spiritual. Okay, the survivor has the lowest energy. And in this energy, I actually don't have enough energy to talk as quickly as I was. So the survivor is job. It has one job: keep you alive. It gets a lot of energy if it sees danger or risk, and it's really powerful. It's probably the most important one, because, you know, at the end of the day, life loves itself and it wants to give every soul its ability to complete its spiritual ascension. I really believe that. I believe that God is good and we are all this one energies and how they work together. So the survivor, guys, is this part of you, and it keeps you alive. And I want to make this really important. When you feel the most helpless you've ever felt as a little child, just imagine being a ball of energy, being shot out, you know, of like your, you know, womb, you're totally unconscious, and all of a sudden there's like crazy light and there's people around. Imagine what kind of a crazy energy that must be an experience. I'm sure the defense mechanism was right up, like, holy shit, do I really want to be out here? Like, what the fuck's going on? There's a lot of light out here. You know, like, really, let's have compassion for this energy. It gets really excited in these most intense moments, and we need it. The problem is that little kids, when they're in their reactor, and their lower mental are making judgments about when the survivor should come out. Okay? This is if you only get one thing today, I want you to understand how these three primordial tier 1 energies are actually at the root cause of why there's war on the planet. This is it. And it's actually okay. War is okay. But we can now do peaceful wars through conversation by evoking the next 3 intelligence. And we're going to have an experience of how to quickly get people up into upper mentals, the higher vibration intelligence. But before I do that, I want to really get into the connection here. This is really important. So now that we've set up the survivor, this guy he's just on guard. He's got crazy energy when he really needs it because he keeps you alive. But then he's also, usually when he's working properly, he's in the background and he barely needs any energy. The problem is a little kid is deciding what to give the survivor powers to, and it's buried in our deep unconscious, and we don't even know it's there. What if we actually knew those things were ruling our lives and how to change them and do it relatively quickly? And that made them just more epic people because they have more energies to reach the higher energies. That's what I'm talking about. So this emotional intelligence, it comes on next. And let me kind of shift energies a little bit to really give a model that I want you to feel it. Just keep feeling the space as I'm shifting energy. So so the reactor is kind of sits back, like he's kind of like the survivor. He doesn't need to be on all the time. But when like your perception, it hits an object in your screen of energetic reality, which is much wider than, as you get more sensitive and energetic, you can feel things. Like I feel us all connected right now. You guys are all feeding me your intentions. And I'm feeling, a lot of excitement here. And with the emotional intelligence, let me get into it, because each one of these, when you use them, they're really sweet. The problem is you'll see we need to get a higher intelligence reprogramming them, and it changes everything. So the reactor, it's like, oh, that's hot. A reactor's like this, or oh, I'm not sure about that. It's like it's the moment where the feeling is evoked. It's like evoked, folks. It's that thing. It's got like a big spark of energy. Now we don't need to react to everything. We actually want to be present all the time and then react when something cooler strikes us in our field that's useful to our spiritual path. And the thing is, what if we could tune our reactor to the soul intelligence instead of the survivor? And it's a little switches. And I know how to do that now with people so that they can evoke these higher energies much more frequently, much, much, much more frequently. And that's going to make a big difference. So here, I want to talk about the thinker and how it reacts with the reactor. The thinker is that kind of like the mental realm all of a sudden pops up, whoosh, there's a reaction. And sometimes like, hey, maybe I should take a perspective on this and see if this is good or bad or right or wrong. It's also connected with the survivor because the survivor's got to make those kinds of decisions, right? So if we're going to think about survival of our species, folks, I think it's time to upgrade our thinker from lower mental to upper mental by we're already using the upper mental. Otherwise, we wouldn't have cool ideas like we did. We have so much brilliance everywhere, super creativity. But what if we could give those? I don't know what they're doing in Pixar, but it feels like I meet these like AI guys who are mixing psycho-spiritual stuff with AI. I think we can like get people to intelligence up and remove conflict really a lot faster now on multiple levels at the same time. So let me talk about the lower mental. Let me change my energy. Hold on. Oof. Okay, lower mental. Lower mental is interesting because he's got that yes, and he's actually got the full range of the reactor, and he's the one who decides. He's the one who puts like that imprint on, oh, what intensity and feeling, what does dog poop on my foot feel like, or what is how I react to my parents' energy feel like, and have first contact with people, and so there's deep imprints are made on the first one. The survivor's got to say, like, what's the level of comfort I have with whatever this new entity that's running into my field. This is the psycho-spiritual reality that energies, when they're coming into the world, are making. Keep in mind, you're making these decisions as a baby. Now, do you want to still live out of the baby or the first 5 years of your life where you get these deep in your unconscious? Because the lower mental's got a lot of these egoic defense mechanisms, which is where the survivor dances with the reactor and the thinker, and is like, oh my God, this guy might die, or this little baby might do something stupid, and it creates an experience, so it learns a lesson. But unfortunately, the baby takes it way too personally, and they make up a nasty story about themselves. They don't like themselves. They think they're a loser. They want to die in some reason, because in order for the survivor to come on, and some part of us wants to die. So this is a brilliant intelligence. The problem is it creates these egoic defense mechanisms that keep us from being present. And when we're not present, we can't really have those non-verbal, non-violent communications that were talked about before, and make those agreements. We don't want people making big agreements when they're triggered. I bet everybody agrees with that. Like, or someone's like, their worst moment. They don't want that guy making the choices that cause deep contemplation, with society. We got to have like a really well thought out process. And it's not people yelling on stage or getting in Senate and yelling at each other. We got to make it more decentral. If we don't have like a good way to, like, for decentral people, like I hang out in a lot of these like communities. I'm in Costa Rica now in the Diamante Valley, because there's a lot of these communities that are trying to like create together and live together. Maybe some of them think there's apocalypse, maybe some of them think they're here to create something, and the ones in the Diamante Valley are ready for both, and so they're ready for action, and that's what I love about that energy. And then there's like people in Tulum, obviously where you're at, there's another place, and Acapulco obviously is energetic. I think when these people who really want to get the decentralized world we all know to get ready is to give people the skills so that we can make this happen. And I think this thing I just talked about is the key. It's the key. I think it's going to give people more energy to do the next energetics. Okay. And so, boom, we're going to get into the higher level energetics. So my energy is going to pick up. I might present in a slightly different way. And each of these I put like a little G beside it, because it's almost like you've accepted you can have like a higher range of bandwidth, of you can feel things more on the spectrum. That's what's going on. It's like the lower mental trust its ability to feel. When you feel deeper, you can make sharper distinctions. When it's like your spiritual body, your emotional body, and your intelligent body, boom, and you can trust your soul that what you're saying is really optimal. You're in a flow state, basically. There's a lot of words for it. But let's talk about when you're in upper mental, it's more energy. I am bringing a lot of upper mental and soul. We're going to talk about those two, and I mix those together in a big way, and I brought a super energy. I want to have a super high energy conversation with you guys today. So we're gonna basically give you an experience of these ones, and then we're going to apply it to an exercise that's going to be both super fun and super stimulating and getting you guys talking to each other. Okay. So upper mental. Okay. Upper mental's cool. It's where the creativity comes. It's where the conflicts resolve. I love upper mental. It's my favorite one, really. There's a lot of ideas. I like ideas. And I feel like my ideas were like, at some point, I was like, I want to enjoy things more than just mental. I like to feel the full range of what it's alive. I like to be with other people. I like to do sports. My idea of fun is multidimensional fun. I want to see peace. I worry about world problems. I want to have children, and I want to live them with a different narrative. I don't like the news. I don't like how it shapes us. It feels like it's in a trauma response, and nobody actually trusts that we'll ever resolve things. I want to bring a new energy to the world. I want to give people practical tools. I don't just want to talk about it. I want to give them an experience and give them protocols and help them resolve their own conflicts, because my power is helping other people be the best version of themselves, and then give them those tools to give them to their community. I'm a process consultant by trade. My background's in organizational development, which I did for like 25 years. I both worked in the private and public sector. I did it at the same time. Actually, I was a private contractor in a government agency called the Volpe Center, and I worked on large system change projects for the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. They regulate the trucking industry, and I've done a lot of work with the FRA as well. Published papers on both organizational development and its application in huge structure change, and so that's my favorite thing to do. I love that. That, and happy, because what I realized in that job, it's all about getting the groups working together. So it's a lot of it was, and the relationship between individual work and group work. And when you get those people being able to do that together, look out, folks. That's another world, and that's the world that's coming, and that's what my soul is helping us see. So, yeah, just let's upper mental's like enthusiasm. You got a lot of enthusiasm for life. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna like talk to some of my cool people here about some of the ideas that I've been learning and see what it stimulates. Who knows what kind of creativity will come out of this. And then soul intelligence. Soul intelligence is one that I stay at. I've been doing a lot of different study with a lot of energy masters, Donnie Epstein, his epi-energetics, and I'm talking about his 6 intelligences. I've studied with Ken Wilber. I studied with John Churchill and Daniel P. Brown. I have 2 super meditation teachers studying Dzogchen and Mahamudra, and really good ones. And Chi masters, Sifu Rob Jones of Chi Energy Heals, Neil Kramer, is one who helped me work with like the Western esotericism. So I really think my soul is like, we gotta get everybody talking, not just different countries, people in the bedroom, parents and kids. We gotta kind of like everybody as a capacity. The religion's gotta talk. How can we just make some compromises and a lot of forgiveness over stupid stories that happened so long ago, when we trace their psycho-spiritual roots? When I do my deep spiritual work, I go like, this goes back to like caveman guys, like caveman. We're still holding this thing where like a caveman's like trying to get the food. He comes out at night. Imagine like you're just, you got to get food. Like imagine the pressure that's on you to feed your family. This is like survivor level panic. And like imagine him like going out really trying hard, and then coming home, and like his wife is like starving and they're scared that they're going to die, and it's like a frenetic energy, and she snaps and he snaps and beats her, and then they like hate each other, and that wound is still present. And what if us can like see that in our own psychic spiritual field and remove that on a intergenerational level? And I think when we do that kind of deep soul work, we're going to have a lot more peace and creativity. And I know, because I've done so much high energy work, I do a lot of marriages with universal spirit. Universal spirit is the energy that brings synchronicities together, brings people together, just like it brought us here today for this magical moment, to talk about this divine plan. This is me doing a lot of work. I like to stack different modalities together, give me high energy experiences, because my big skill is visioning. Like I've always been obsessed with imagining a better world, and what would it take? What would it really take? I kept asking myself that question over and over and over again. It was kind of an obsession, and I have a lot of ideas. And yeah, people who want to experiment. I think experimentation and testing it with real program evaluation and performance metrics, and psycho-spiritual. How can we reduce conflict amongst ourselves and the people around us as a game, as a experience for organizations, for campaigns, facilitators? I think this is a big deal. This is a big opportunity when we apply these energetics. Donnie Epstein, my teacher, just released a book, a book about the creations codes. These are creations codes, folks, and he's got a whole bunch of them. I'm just giving you a taste today. There's a lot of these different distinctions that really change you, and we'll get to as many as we can today. But once you deepen with them through his chiropractic work and through his alchemy class, like I did, and you combine them with some of these other things, it just goes a lot faster, and so I'm excited with how the energies of the universe have created me in this divine moment. So I think oops yeah, so the reason why we have that scarcity moment, I want to finish that thought off, is that these the thinker makes these defense mechanisms, and the defense mechanism, okay, what happens is there's some part of us is going around, and some part of it's a fear monger. It's like, if you do that, you're going to experience your worst failure or your biggest trauma. Like, don't go there. It's like a fear thing, and we take that voice way too seriously. Way too seriously. And I learned that from the Tibetans, how to do that. I'm going to give you an experience with that. Right next, that's the next big experience I want to give you. I'm going to give you literally the experience that changed my life. I'm going to give it to you. So I'm excited about that. We're going to learn about a different way of looking at reality in terms of energetics. So this basically, what happens is now we've got this thing that takes us in fear. And because we take that story way too seriously, our energy totally drops and we don't get to upper mental. We stay in this lower mental, emotional intelligence, bio super trap. It's like certain emotion comes up, it causes a certain context, causes an emotional reaction. Our thinker says, oh my God, that's like a level of energy I don't even want to deal with. The situation reminds me of something terrible in my past, and I'm not ready to confront it at all. Okay. And so basically their energy drops and they go survivor. And this leads to depression and it leads people to in scarcity. I promised you scarcity mindset. This is it, folks. This biointelligence, emotional intelligence, lower mental, egoic defense mechanism, super dance keeps us in tier one. And once we give people upper mental energetics and we apply it with, it only works when you apply it with the agreements that was talked about and the nonviolent communications, and we make contracts to be sacred again. And one way to do it without knowing what's going to come out of your mouth is like, hey, just have an agreement. Imagine some people together and they're just say like, hey, I don't want to do this egoic defense mechanism thing. Why don't we have some simple game rules that will get us into these higher energies? And just like, that's it. It's like we start playing with the simple ones. It's like, let's get out of lower mental into upper mental if we're going to come up with creative agreements to resolve complicated conflict. A skilled facilitator who knows about this stuff is going to be, really powerful. Okay. So this is combining Tibetan Buddhism with energy. The Tibetans gave me deep inner peace in every context and the ability to like slow down and be radical presence. And the energies gave me higher energies. I was intentionally modeling the illuminator intelligence. It's a little bit faster to get like a big vision out there energetically, even if you didn't rock all the systems I was connecting. But I'm going to show you the secret tool that helped me develop this capacity of seeing all these distinctions work at the same time. And it's about healthy detachment. The difference between a really healthy upper mental intelligence versus somebody who's stuck in the lower mental is how good are they at staying in presence? Because the human mind is naturally super intelligent. But some people have some stories or traumas that are keeping them in these loops that prevent them from being productive human beings. So if everyone gets this skill and we can use energy to help them have an experience to believe it's possible, because actually it's our stories about life that are getting in the way. And if I had one story to give today, it would be that. It's our stories that are getting in the way. So one of my blend of soul and healthy upper mental is I have really awakened optimism. And by that, I just mean, I think if people are practical and use their brains and their energies and their arts together in collaboration, we got this. Like, I think we can take it back from the Illuminati. Like, I think it's not as spooky as people think. I think they're people too. And I think there's when governments see that people can take care of themselves on little levels and they just stop paying taxes, then they're just gonna get smaller. Let's face it, it's the capacity that's not there. That's the missing link. It's capacity. So healthy detachment gives people more upper mental. So it's the key, what I think is one of the core key sets is either getting it through meditation, taking space between your thoughts and your experience to reflect on it, or to get that same ability through having really powerful energetic experiences. When you direct the energy, you can have deep psychological shifts. So, so in order to help you have this by itself could change your life. Like I just have to say that ahead of time, that the mind view literally, this distinction, I would say is probably the biggest, most important distinction that ever happened in my entire life. And I'm going to connect it with the next energy, and I'm going to make a connection for you guys all that I hope is part of what I'm trying to do is these higher energies can really shift us. So the mind view folks, is this ability to actually break apart you and your thoughts and your feelings about reality with enough space so you can make a new perspective on it. It kind of dials back the reactor just enough that it doesn't hit the egoic defense mechanism that prevents you seeing what you actually need to feel. And when we do that formula on repeat, we have psycho-spiritual releases, we have more energies, our defense mechanisms go away, and our need for survivor techniques goes away. We realize we're infinite beings and we can play in peace and creativity for all of eternity. Like seriously, like that's a real. If you understand where the energetics are going, that the upper mental has now seen what's going on collectively and is assembling the people of the world to bring these messages of peace to the world, like, and how to get there. So let's have an experience, folks. I've been talking a lot, so thanks for your patience. And I've been talking fast because I'm trying to convey a lot of complicated ideas. But this is the technique that will help you handle more complexity by design. We're gonna do it right now. So what I want to do is we're gonna get in a meditation posture. So we're gonna just take some slow breaths to slow down, because this is the opposite end of the spectrum. We're going from a fast experience to a real slow experience, and we're going to make a connection about why they're actually connected. Okay, so just breathe in the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, out the nose. And let the energy of the universe drop into your body. Allow all those thoughts you've been thinking to drop into your reactor. We're going to move our upper mental and lower mental, and we're going to have a new story. Hey, upper mental, your upper mental, I'm looking at for the room. If you want, this is a choice you can have for the next couple minutes to have an energetic experience to show healthy detachment. So we can really see this distinction as an experiential level. So what I'm asking here is to give permission for your mirror to see whatever pattern it is that is usually hard to see. And so when you do that, it's going to help you know what your next spiritual move is. So in order to do that, we just have to be in peace, whatever peace is for you, and open your eyes. So now we've done this deep meditation to get ourselves peaceful. We're going to raise our energy up and we're going to look to the future. I'm a very external being and I like to look to the future for direct me. So I changed the direction of the universe from looking at my past traumas to going from my biggest dreams and grabbing them and actually doing all the perceptions and the structures and the behaviors that lead me to my highest collaboration with reality, bring my super skills with other people. And that's what these people do, is they help people move away from the life that's like to the life that's controlled by the egoic defense mechanisms. And there's a story there that helps them let go of their story. And then it's just some techniques to go from defensive mechanisms to offensive mechanisms. When you're using soul intelligence, like I'm doing now, and upper mental, you bring in new stories, new energies that will make the planet a better place, And that's what we all want. That's what we're here to do. So when I look to the future, I get more energy. And when I put my hands up, everyone put your hands up, straight up in the air. Okay, this is another distinction. It's called the external epi way. And when you reach out like this and you let like the future come guide you, like let it just guide you. Just let the energy from your highest dream come to you right now. You have thoughts and experiences available to you that you've never had before. When you're way out here, all the people here are future thinkers to bring something cool to the world. And so when we look straight out and we focus on our futures instead of our egoic defense mechanism, that alone can cause a huge energy shift, which is going to get you out of an egoic defense mechanism and into presence. So you can have the nonviolent communications and agreements within yourself and with your partners and with your business partners, your wife, etc., to manifest the thing you actually want to do. So now that we've got that cool energy, put your hands down and again, relax the body. You just got a dose of energy and we're going to channel it towards detachment. So I'm going to explain the difference between the event view and the mind view. Okay. And so this is the distinction that changed my life. So, okay, let's just relax and see normal reality. Keep your eyes wide open and just see like, what you see, probably me on a screen. I'm seeing like, my computer and some books and stuff. I'm like in an office library kind of situation. And this is how I regularly saw life. And it's this next decision that gave me some freedom to go after my dreams. And so thank you. Thank you, Event View, for helping me see that I was ready to have a divorce from you. So this event view is fused with the egoic defense mechanisms, and that's what people don't realize. It's fused with these apps that are running in the background and we can't even see them. And what if it's a real upside of meditation is learning to live beyond them. And it requires more than a quiet mind to do it. You actually have to deal with the sub patterns on the subconscious to have the highest experience is on the most consistent basis. So I'm going to show you that skill now. Okay, everybody, just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And be inside and see like maybe black light coming in. And I want you to imagine something. I'm going to point something out that maybe you've never heard before. I've never heard this before. I did it in a meditation class, and this is the one that shifted me. Basically, I saw just what I was seeing, the blackness. And I said, I'm black, I'm black, I'm the light, I'm black, I'm the light. And then I realized, wait a second, what if I had then broke it into two? What if I broke it into two? I saw the colors and the lights and all the people talking and all the action. And I called it lively awareness. And then I did something miraculous, something that stimulated my metacognition. It stimulated it super in the best possible way. Then I optimized or got an upgrade. And basically what happened is I gave permission to have a separate experience from my actual screen. I could be one with the screen that hovers above my experience. And by doing that is you give yourself permission to literally be it at the deepest level of identity, at the deepest level of identity. You are the screen that holds all the information. It's invisible, it's lucid, it's clear. So imagine you're looking at a mirror and you are the mirror. You're the mirror that holds it. You're not the context. And you can actually see everything that's in it energetically. Even though you're fused with it, you have enough unbound energy to make the best decision to stimulate energetics in their most optimal way. You let your soul, which your soul is your fusion between the weaver, the universal spirit, the one who puts you in the right place at the right time for the right synchronicities to create the magical that we have right here. Everything is magic. Okay, so when you actually see that you are the field of awareness and not the experience, the field of awareness. I want you to open your eyes now. And I want you to look out. Look out. And you're going to see the same stuff you had before, but maybe you might see it slightly differently. Energetically, you're not the stuff. You're not the stuff. You're actually the screen. You're the screen itself. And that little space allows new information to come in. It allows new information again. It's going to give you more energy and to reflect on whatever you usually see. You just see differently and you see more creatively. It gives you more energy to be right here. That slight detachment, just knowing it's there. And look, that if you want to have it more and more of the time, I'm the guy. That's the thing I do. This is my favorite thing to do is help people get to that detached state. Some people do ketamine. You guys hear about ketamine therapy? Ketamine therapy is doing that. I can do it with energy and psychedelics, and even without psychedelics, it's just energy plus meditation. That's all I'm doing is getting people to see that they're not their stories and let them come to a new story about life, and that's focused on peace and abundance for everybody. So I want you to focus on the screen one last time, and see energy inside it. Just see whatever objects I'm in there, colors are in there, and I'm the screen behind all of it. And this TV screen, almost, it's a screen, it's a field. It can almost, it's like infinity in 3D. It gives every single dimension at once, all the ones that we want to see at least, and creates a picture. And I like to create pictures of these states with my graphic designer, Joel Morrison. He's really brilliant at that. And we like to dream up metaphysical distinctions and present them energetically, so people can get them at a deeper, like, soul level and use them. So I want people to just know you are the field. And the field's always perfect. It's a perfect field. These Tibetan yogas, these meditation gurus who did this meditation, their worldview is everything's perfect. When you do this, get this little bit of distance, you fall in love with the process of life, and you realize everything's a magical gift. Nobody even knows how this can exist. It's all magic, folks. You know, if you take anything today, just that's it. It's magic. Think about, how can anything exist? Anytime you would think about, oh, I think it's this or this or this that created it, you have to ask the question, well, what created that? And what created that? At some point, you're like, I'm never going to figure that out. And you fall in love with mystery of life. And I think there's a spiritual lesson there that, like, actually, when you have faith that's already perfect already, it works for you. And so it brings this optimism that you get with these Enneagram Type 7 upper mentals who can see a lot of creativity and possibilities, and that can be transferred to other people. And also how to onboard your intuition, like to combine that soul intelligence. The soul intelligence is like when you're connected to this space, when you know you're the mind view and not the event view, the event's in it, you get this extra unbound energy to see new perspectives, and it just makes you a better person. And I actually think if everybody had that skill, or more people, just more and more people who are using peaceful upper mental intelligence, will lead to world peace. And then the fun really starts, because then we got a lot more energy to stop working on that. But I see a real healing part of the world. The transition state is going to involve a lot of wellness. We're going to be really good to our bodies, our minds, and our hearts, and we're going to we're gonna actually, yeah, make peace on earth. So the thing that the detachment does is it allows us to see that we're not actually these scarcity stories. Again, yes, you called me in, folks, for scarcity mindset. I want to get to the root of it. I want to show you from the mental and energetic views why it's actually these egoic defense mechanisms. We're fused, we're identified with the stories that prevented us from experiencing what we thought might be death. Like, literally, that's what we're doing. We're walking around, oh, that's scary, too scary, that's too scary, that's scary, and it's blocking us. And yes, people get past it because we have different ways of getting energy. We drink coffee, we've got super drink, we're fantasizing about superheroes. There's like a desire in the field to like be super people. And I feel like, all right, let's give them the abilities. It's time to bring the best of organizational development, personal development, leadership development, all the developments with the energy people and all the religions and the people who know how to get stuff done at companies, operations people. We're the truckers. We're we all the generators. We got to get everybody charged up to play our roles. And every energy requires roles. It requires understanding how you fit in now, this new abundance factory and this new vision for the world. And I think energy is going to really help us get there. Okay. So I think I'm ready for an exercise. So what I'd like to do is, I think there's about 10 people there. So I'm going to get you in pairs. And I want you to play with these energies that I was just playing with. Okay. So the exercise is, actually, I want you to know that because of the way I've been doing things, everybody has more upper mental, because we just did that exercise. It gives people more upper mental, and you're going to have more creativity and more ability for peace. I want you to apply the nonviolent communication and the agreements. We've got this energetic agreement that we dance so well together. Now you're going to get direct experience. You just got that other training that was epic and got these specific distinctions. And now we just add energy to it, upper mental energy, and it works a lot better, folks, because we're not in our trigger patterns. It's just going to be a really peaceful conversation. So I'm going to give you 20 minutes. And the question for the pairs, I'll let the people in the room divide up and figure out. The deal is you got to get it done in a minute. And the question for the two of you is, yeah, let's throw off all your abilities of looking bad, and we're in a creative zone. Just let's let it go. And what's your, if you had to speak your most heart-centered vision about what would make the world a better place? I brought that energy here today, and with the intention of helping it stimulate in you. And how might we all collaborate? What is there something here for us at a deeper level than just a presenter, speaker, and with each other? We're all a team. This is a field question. Everybody on the screen, we're dancing together here energetically. This is a Weaver dance, where a lot of high vibration people are coming together. That's why I was so attracted to this opportunity, because this is my people. I wish I could be there in person, but the Weaver's also calling me to Burning Man, so I got to do that. Okay. So the question again is, all you have to do is evoke the upper mental, get into pairs, and discuss what is that one idea. Each person gets 10 minutes. Okay. Somebody in the room, please keep track of the time, or I'll also do it too. But please amplify it when I say it's 10 minutes are up. 10 minutes each. You have an opportunity to hear your most awesome dream of what you think is possible, and then get feedback on it. All right. Is everybody ready? So
we are
let's get into groups. Go. All right, everybody. Time to return to presence and wrap up your conversations, and turn your attention this way. Yeah, I'm going to 11. So we're going to do a little bit of processing of this. I'm going to do a couple more distinctions, and I'll wrap up right at 11. Yeah, looking forward to hearing what everybody, to get a taste. So could somebody who's got like a phone with a microphone, bring it to the people? I'm just going to ask 2 people. Can I get some help on that? Yeah, and so what I'm requesting is 2 people share for like a minute, a very succinct, what was it like to do that exercise, to mix the upper mental with, talking about your dreams? What happened? Yeah. So who's our first volunteer?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sharing a place or places that probably for my creative expression and growth of the person. Be surrounded with people who also are on that. Invite people into those places who don't have that full expression, and to find a way to help people move forward or find people the vision of a place that's kind of nurturing, healing, finding ways to share and create more of those places. Vision and feeling and the ability to the kind of world that could be when we express our full potential, and probably already exists. That's finding and connecting.
Beautiful. It's unlike you moved out of the scarcity mindset there. Go for it. Who's next?
So to build the scarcity mindset, or to massively reduce it, it was about decentralization of that which is used to control humanity. Because these things, whether it's agriculture, energy, or finance, these are like 3 elements that are massively needed to keep civilization running. And it's the fear of scarcity of food that creates, obviously, fear in people. The energy costs, or not having the energy to heat our home, or the energy to produce the things we need to keep civilization running. And then obviously finance, like people are scared of losing their financial autonomy because of the CBDCs. So if we can decentralize all of these 3 elements, then people are going to be a lot less fearful and a lot less in their scarcity mindset.
Cool. Those are great insights, and I found almost a question in the second one, which I feel the need to address or invoke something powerful in me. So I am grateful for that, both those expressions. I heard like a deep faith that like this is going to work out and synchronicities can come together as one of the energetics. And I also heard like, hey, there's some real 3D kind of big concerns. What if those 2 things go together? and we mix them. We take optimism and that there's a higher part of us actually helping us, just a faith, deep faith, this Weaver intelligence just evokes this deep of a higher energy that connects us. And I'm telling you, the upper mental in that experience we were doing helps people get a new energy to them, and it makes them have a connection within themselves that maybe they didn't know they had. What if there's a higher part of them that can give them messages every once in a while? Everyone's got intuition and the Enneagram. If you really understand that, all the archetypes lead to mind, heart, and intuition, and they can all be activated in different orders. And I'm a master of archetypes. And you take these energies and the agreements and the nonviolent communication, and you swirl them up with these problems. The people, you actually get to the things. Who makes the problem? Who's causing the problems? Who creates the problems? Who fixes the problems? Well, they're human beings. Guess what? Human beings got minds, and human beings connect to different energy channels, and they use different processes to make them better, like healthy habits. In business, we got healthy habits. In dialogue, we got healthy habits. We got healthy habits in communication. We got healthy habits in the bedroom and like the love languages. So it's like everyone wants happy marriages. And when we reduce conflict, the inner and the masculine and feminine parts within us and outside of us start merging in a more beautiful way and a peaceful, abundant way. And when you understand the energetics, the dance of the polarities of life, and you start bringing more of this upper mental optimism, and it's inevitable that we resolve it because we trust, we have faith. It's the faith that it's all coming together. It's really important. We need narratives, and these defense mechanisms hold the key, because the thing that's keeping us scarcity is some part of us thinks we're still being tortured. We haven't actually digested that experience yet, and you need to go through that process. And the more times you do that for the ones that are actually important to your consciousness, no matter what's actually true, however you digest it in that moment, that's actually what will give you these level jumps and of higher perception and a greater ability to be in upper mental and soul, to activate your higher mind and your intuition and your heart. They all are like on an energetic bandwidth. And when we bring in a better mix of these energies, all 6 of the intelligences are great. Just you have to use them in the right order. So that's what I teach people too. And I want to focus on political leaders and people who have heart, who want world peace, and they want to make money off it because we got to make a living. And so I want to dance where business and industry and culture, this is about creating more super beings. We want to be superheroes anyways. We watch enough of those goddamn movies. Oh my God. And I love a good superhero movie, but let's have some independent stuff in there, some more multi-dimensional, abundant fun. What if instead of trying to fly, we just figured out ourselves and gave yourself more energy, and we could find a skill in this abundant movement of peaceful and abundant. As we have more peace within us, we're going to have more energy to live our dreams. As we live our dreams, I believe that a heart-centered movement that's doing their trauma work at the same time as their liberation business development work, those things will go like you get more ability, more creativity will come on, deeper inner and outer marriages, and peace is inevitable just from that process. It's a baby. It's a combination systems of systems. And that's what the upper mental brings you, is this ability to hold all those realities that were spoke at the same time and let them organize, self-organize. There's like a keyboard that this teacher, Donnie Epstein, I started with, called the EpiGrid, and I show people how to move around the energetics so they get the right mix at the right time. And there's a way to interface to do that. It's very creative. That guy's brilliant, and he saw these energetics and labeled them as an early kid. He brought him as a chiropractor, and then he's now bringing him into a new energy way. And they dance well with my experience as an organizational development person and a deep meditation student and someone who's likes a lot of variety within the health and wellness space. I got products for the physical, like the Beamer, and the quantum, like the Healy, on every dimension, there's cool best practices. And I know there's a lot I don't know. So I think when you bring in more upper mental, you realize I don't got it figured out, guys. But what I'm good is helping other people who have a lot of ideas like me figure out which other ideas is the best one and then actually implement it successfully. That's what I want to do, is bring creative people together who also want to get something done. Bring that epic heart with that brilliant mind of ideas, and then the intuition to be like, okay, guys, this is where our group of people and reality meet for actual business that brings peace. That's a fun conversation. Those are the kind of people I want to dance and play with all the time. That's it. You know, that's what I like to play with them. I'm excited to bring this vision to the world. And I'm a political animal for peace and abundance. You know, I want to have kids and I want to live a long time. I want to enjoy life and I want to be around other people who are enjoying it. It turns out when you master your energetics and your mind, your life gets a lot better. And so let me bring up this word or this term. I'm going to go back to the slides and I'm going to finish off. So let me hit share screen so you can see this. These are real short slides. I'm going to plow through these quickly. And where's that guy? Doom. Okay, good. Epienergetics. So simply, epienergetics is the conscious and ecological use of energy and information to produce the extraordinary. When I say extraordinary, I mean really extraordinary. It's a big jump to live with soul intelligence and have all these magical synchronicities and, you know, not be confused with conflicts in your head and just have peace and direction and love and feel like you're dancing with the energy, the weaver of life. It feels good when the universe winks at you and gives you a lot of synchronicities, and that could be fun. And eventually that will guide you into an abundant life of multidimensional happiness and peace, whatever you want. You know, different people want different things. I want to have be involved in a peace movement that's also profitable, and that be a cultural theme of the more we work on ourselves, the more positive energy we have, and the more problems we resolve inside of and outside of us, and there's just peace, and we can all, you know, get into our creative little worlds and spurt off little creative babies as individuals and dyads and different kinds of yeah, groups. So coherent energy is when we increase our energy. We start using the energetics in the most intelligent way. And folks, I just told you about some of the 6 primary ones. There's some that are even deeper than that, and there's some on other dimensions that are cool. But you know, I only got like 90 minutes, so I can't teach the whole class. And the thing is, once you know the frequencies, which takes a while to really merge with them really completely. Once you do, you then get like a keyboard and you start learning how to program the energy so you can bring the right flavor. And I'll have to say more about that, but it's all about coherence, and you contributing more consciously to your coherence when you understand the nature of reality and that dynamic. When you both are clear on your dream and you go for it and you go through that process, inevitably you're going to come up against your ego defense mechanisms. And that's the key. When you learn to live beyond your ego defense mechanisms and you create a story that's coherent with your mental health, your wellness in every dimension, it's got cultural peace and systems that anyone who wants this ability to live their dream is gets it. To me, you know, where do you cross individuality and group? To me, it's right there. I want everyone to be free, but also I want them to be happy, and I can't force anyone to see this will lead to their happiness. Only say, hey, it really works for me, and I love being me, and I love my life, and I love the people I hang out with, and especially who see this coherent vision of just skill building and different skill builders working together. And I think there's going to be a nice combination of conflict resolution fueled by agreements. Nonviolent agreements are the thing. Both within ourselves, we're violent to ourselves and we don't know it. So you don't really know it until you start getting more detached, and we end the violence within ourselves. Then we start wanting to attack other people. Psychosis goes away, and there's these archetype charts that tell you real fast what's going on with people. So yeah, it doesn't have to take as long as people think when you mix these things in the right order. And I know from experience and education and dedication. And these are the 2 most primordial energies. And this is a really powerful distinction, and it's simple, but also profound. Bound energy is energy that has a form. Everything that you can actually label as like a feeling, experience, you know, thought, color, sound, image, visuals, anything, that's all bound energy. Great. That's great. And bound energy makes you love. Bound and unbound are perfectly, they're sex partners. They're like male and female the primordial energies of the universe. This bound energy is lively. It moves around. It's already got a form. This is like feminine. And when you get this healthy detachment, you then get a little space between you and those defense patterns I talked about that are formed from the survivor. They're not really you, and boom, then you get choice. You get to choose. The real you pops out into your presence. You're with that, what's actually happening with you, and then you can make new choices. You get freedom, and you can make better agreements with yourself and with other people, and create a better world. So when you have this moment of detachment, and you're not have the observer fused with its experience, like totally fused one, and with no separation, just creating that creates a drop of unbound energy. This is pure energy with the light and wisdom of the weaver and the soul. It knows exactly what's other. It gives you like light of truth moments. It's an energy burst. Sometimes it tells you the thing that you are is true, and sometimes it'll give you the opposite experience. It'll amplify the exact energy that you are. And then you can take a perspective on it, because you know that's not you. Sometimes it's like, go for this dream. It's like, hey, Jonathan, this is it. Like, this is this dream, that we're all living of peace and abundance. Talk about it and how we get there, like with actual plans, with just people working together more peacefully. Because these agreements, it's not just about like world peace conferences, guys. I'm just talking about people at work. What do people at work? Just they resolve conflict better, so they have better organizations. What about the family system? There's not conflicts in there, chores, growing up, parents' inner and outer ability to resolve conflict, and we can use these energies to do it. There's a new way of going about it that makes this transformation a lot easier. We know how to bring a lot more awakened energy. We've got a lot more awareness. Awakened really just means like a higher awareness. You have this metacognition that's above, it gives you some more upper mental, and like enlightenment to me, it's just like you get new perspectives. And I don't think there's one form of enlightenment. I think spirit colors itself. I don't believe in like one religion. I believe in peace and happiness and freedom and abundance, but nonviolent agreements. Once we get nonviolent agreements, we're going to have more creativity, more peace, and more time for the individual, because the group will be on its way, and that'll be fun. And I don't have time for these, but these distinctions are super important. There's a lot of cool distinctions, like this energy poor, neutral, rich, super rich. Creation Codes is the book that Donnie Epstein just released yesterday. Go grab it. We don't have time for this, but yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, I am finishing off my website and going to Burning Man. And because those are both expensive endeavors, I'm doing a promotion. I work with people one-on-one, and I show people how to work with these energetics so they can be in touch with their soul. And it's 10 for 1,777. So you get like an hour to 90 minutes, really powerful energetic session. And we resolve these, defense mechanism, these apps that are keeping you away from your dreams. We identify your dream, and then, put you on with the energetics. And it's just 10, you kind of meet every other week. So I think I got a promotion going on, and there's 9 left. And if somebody's interested, email me at this, and grab, if you can, let me know by this weekend, because I'm going to Burning Man this weekend. And my website is Mozenter, my last name, MOZENTER.com. It's not ready yet, so that'll be ready, in the fall, and with some other adventures. I'm excited for collaborations, not just students, if people want me to be on their podcast, or they just want to talk because they think my ideas are interesting, and whatever. I'm open for everything. I'm looking for collaborations, share stories. I'm here to be part of a movement, a peace movement, a real peace movement. And I just want to give my gifts and hear what yours are, and see how we dance together in whatever way the weaver thinks is most appropriate. So I just want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate you for listening to these ideas and doing these exercises. I hope you got at least one super cool thing out of this. And look forward to connecting in the future. All right, enjoy the rest of your conference. Thanks for having me.